Another one of my objections is that Joseph Smith is a Davidic servant. And I've explained this in videos in the past, which apparently you have not watched. Or if you have not watched, you have not thought about. But in Genesis chapter 49, Jacob gives a blessing to Joseph, his son. And in that blessing, it talks about the scepter of power shall not depart from Judah or the tribe of Judah until Shiloh comes. Well, Jesus Christ couldn't have been Shiloh because he held the scepter of power and he was part of the tribe of Judah. Peter, James, and John couldn't have been Shiloh because they were of the tribe of Judah. But when the scepter of power was given to Joseph Smith, who was a pure Ephraimite, the scepter of power departed from Judah when Shiloh came. Shiloh is Joseph Smith. Prophecy is fulfilled. Now you're saying that the Davidic servant who is of the house of David is coming again, and that's going to be Joseph Smith. But Joseph Smith was a pure Ephraimite. So if Joseph Smith, like some people have said, oh, he's a descendant of Jesus Christ. Other people have said that. I don't know if Joseph Smith ever said that, but he can't be, because who would be the next one who holds the scepter of power? It's the Davidic servant. The only one who fits the category of being the Shiloh, who is not of the house of Judah, is Joseph Smith. But if Joseph Smith was of the lineage of Jesus Christ, then he couldn't have been Shiloh. And if he's the Davidic servant, well, the Davidic servant is partly of the house of Joseph and partly of the house of Judah. So the scepter of power would not depart even when the Davidic servant comes. And the Davidic servant is the last servant before the return of Jesus Christ, who is a Jew, not of Joseph. So that's another one of my objections. Those are my main two. I have more. I could go on and talk about different things, but those are the two main objections that I have to what Phil Davis teaches. So also, I guess I could say, Joseph Smith said that the reason why Jesus couldn't baptize Paul was because once the priesthood is given to man on the earth, that it is the duty of the priesthood on the earth to do the work, which Phil does talk about that kind of. But the priesthood was restored. The fullness of the priesthood was never given. Joseph Smith didn't have it. No one had it. Joseph Smith talked about the priesthood being restored or given to certain prophets upon the mountain by God himself. But as far as we know, Joseph didn't have that. And it is my understanding that the only one who can give the fullness of the priesthood is the Father. So Joseph couldn't give it to anyone else. In order for the saints to have the fullness of the priesthood, even if Joseph did have it, they would have had to have gotten it from the Father, which was the reason for building the Nauvoo temple, where Jesus said, build a temple whereby the Most High, the Father, can come dwell therein, that he might restore that which was lost into you or that which was taken away. So those are my two main objections. I have given them to Phil Davis. I've given them to you. I've shared them with other people, and nobody can answer those objections because they are logically sound. And the only way you can get around that, I believe, is by doing mental gymnastics. Joseph Smith was a pure Ephraimite.